Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Borderlands 3. Today we are going to be updating our Moze build because the glorious people at Gearbox decided, you know what? Let's nerf everything. You know, like these builds that everyone has spent such a long time grinding the specific legendary gear to get that's completely RNG based, not even really dropped from a boss. Well now, let's just completely dismantle that and say, well no, now it doesn't work the same way. Go team. So your build you've worked ages to get, fuck you. How about that? It's honestly not that bad. I'm being a bit, playing up the anger that I've seen everywhere else. The good news is that for Moze, we are mostly unchanged here. The only thing that kind of changes is they did nerf one of Moze's skills, and I believe, unless I am mistaken, that skill is the one that makes the whole build kind of work together in terms of your output. Yeah, just your output, your damage output, i.e. this one. Means of destruction, I believe this is the one, but essentially it says as followed. When Moze deals splash damage, there's a chance that she gains another grenade and more bullets in her magazine. Now, they put this on a 3-second or 2-second cooldown. So you throw your grenade, you get it to proc, 1, 2, or 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, bang, and then you have a chance for it to proc again. Now the good news is that this doesn't affect us too much. The only thing that this does affect, our magazine isn't exactly full all the time because it's not always proccing. Instead, we're leaning on this one a little bit more. Over here, the one that says whenever we get a critical hit, we gain our stuff back faster. I have never noticed ourselves getting less grenades. At best, it drops to 5, but then you can just use another weapon like the Ogre that does splash damage as well, and just get a few grenades and re-trigger the train of getting grenades again. The only thing it does put some pressure on is, I think, and we'll be testing right now, how do we fare if we only use 1 hex? I feel like, again, it's because nothing has changed in terms of our damage output, at least in terms of base weapon damage, because we are still getting a ton of healing, because every time we do any sort of splash damage, we're gaining a ton of, or any sort of grenade splash damage, we're getting a lot of health back, which is transferred immediately to our amp damage because it's always coming back every second, which is great. But yeah, the only thing that changes is that we're not able to regenerate grenades quite as crazily fast, but I've never gotten to 0 grenades though. I have gotten to the point where we actually have to reload, which again, that puts a different strain on this. So beforehand, there were some of the best things to use for this build were, where is it? It's this, the Freeman. The Freeman is still good. It's just anything that has like pretty high fire rate and a low-ish magazine, such as 6 rounds, which is kind of low. That's where the build starts to kind of chug. And it's not even like it falls apart. It's just you have to slow down shooting. So you shoot. You're all the way at 0. You keep throwing some grenades out. Give it a minute. You'll get all the way back up to your magazine being maxed out, and then you'll be able to keep shooting. That kind of thing. So it's not as like unlimited, just keep unloading. It's a little bit more, you know, you have to hold back at certain times, or you just have to reload, which is also not that bad at all. Again, unlike some of the builds out there, our build is not hindered by reloading, which, where is it? This one says whenever Moze reloads, she loses the splash damage bonus that she is getting. We don't have that, so we're a-okay. Side thing, I think we already mentioned this, but I got the crossroad is fantastic with Moze, especially having her one ability that has a 20% chance to deal 75% damage, awesome. But this one is radiation based, and I've been having a lot more fun with it. Anyways, let us do the proving grounds to show you guys if we're able to deal even remotely the same damage. We are. But honestly, the other thing I want to see is there way more pressure on getting a reoccurring hex now, which shoots out 6 grenades instead of just 1 at a time. Also, well, let's do this. Let's try to get to like the very bottom of our grenades. 0 grenades. Let's try to get to that. As you guys can see, I keep spamming them. We still keep getting them back, so the hex is still part of that sweet spot. And there's always something to kind of leech off of and kill. So we're just trying to get to the rock bottom. We're not able to get to rock bottom in terms of our hex. And this is just a level 1 hex. So it's not like the grenade regen is getting a hit. So you can still throw basically endless grenades. It just kind of neutralized the how do I say it, the ammo regen. Like, as you guys can see, we're not gaining that much ammo regen, but as you guys can see, it's impossible for us to not have any grenades. The only time you do feel some strain is when you're fighting a boss, because it's not proccing that much splash damage, although it kind of is. But in that case, all you would do is switch over to a splash damage weapon and build up that magazine more. But yeah, and again, any weapon that is splash damage will get greatly affected by this. So for instance, the Ogre that just bathes enemies in splash damage, you're gonna be a-okay. because we're also dealing splash damage, which has a chance to proc that. Now, give and take, that is on a 3-second cooldown, which is the whole reason why this is a bit finicky at times. Yeah. But again, all you would need to do is just give it a minute. Keep throwing grenades, keep having them out in the open, just keep chucking grenades, give it a minute, and you'll get back to around half your magazine. You can keep shooting, that kind of thing. See, keep throwing grenades, you'll keep getting that regen quite quickly. Perfect. Lovely jubbly, all that stuff. So it does look like you can get by with a normal hex. Yeah, like you're still fine. So it's not like they completely dismantled the build. So again, that's one of the things that I've been hearing around where people were like, oh no, they nerfed Moze. They nerfed it in practice, but if you keep using the hex grenade, then you're fine. Hell, if I think you even use the Stormfront, you're fine. But yeah, and again, who cares? We have to reload. Boom, bam, we're reloaded. Like it's not that much of a negative to have to reload. But anyways, the test has been proven. Now let's kill things extra fast with our 6 grenades in one throw kind of grenade, which also just happens to wreck fleshy enemies and all that. So boom, bam, good times. Well, I was trying to showcase things, darling, but still, weird alien Vex person. Throw some more of these. Throw some of this. Yeah, look at, yeah, you can still have so many grenades out in the open. Yeah, so I never have noticed us not having enough grenades. Even when fighting bosses, you're a-okay. But then again, I think there's been like one time since patch where I've actually have run out of, not all grenades, but I've gotten down to like 2 and I was like, uh-oh, I gotta be careful because these things keep me alive as well. Especially with my shield, which takes away that, right? So I need to be careful. Anyways, if that is ever the case, just make sure you have a splash damage weapon on you, like the Ogre, or any of the other like splash damage weapons, and just use that for a bit. That'll recuperate your massive stockhold of grenades. If you have 0 grenades, that'll still allow you to do that, because again, that one ability is only talking about the splash damage. Oh, we should throw some more grenades. It's not that big of a deal to reload. It really isn't. Oh, also, so for weapons like this one has 16 bullets, which kind of adds up to around like 7 shots because it consumes quite a bit of ammo each shot. What do you call it? That's okay. You either want a weapon with a high magazine now, or a weapon with a very slow fire rate. Then again, I don't even think the slow fire rate's necessary. Like, again, the Ogre shoots immensely fast, but has a giant magazine. This one, we can shoot pretty quick because we don't have any of that ones. Okay, now we're maxed out on like filled with brass or something like that. The one that slows fire rate but increases gun damage. But yeah, this one's perfect because it doesn't chew through so many bullets to where it has time to regenerate with just the critical one. And again, we are gaining some bullets from that splash damage thing, but it's nothing crazy. My point being through this whole video is just that it's not ideal that they're messing with like build strength right now, especially considering people are already grinding to attain that build strength, and then to have it go redundant really fast is a bit annoying, but they're not nuking things down to like an impossible level. Also, we're about to die, we're really low health, and we're max shield because that still works as intended, which is great. The only thing that this does is it kind of gives you some sort of a possibility of not having max grenades every second. It has like a chance for you to get to like at least 1 grenade, but if that is the case, again, all you need to do is switch to another splash damage weapon and get that proc going again. You'll get 1 grenade, and if you have the hex, that 1 grenade can give you 6, 7, 8 grenades if you have enough enemies surrounding you, you know? Well, actually, that's not even how it works. It's on a timer, so it doesn't just keep proccing that chance. So it's a matter of the hex also just being one of the best grenades because it lasts such a long time. Also, look at you. Oh, you're a special badass and whatnot. I'll still melt through you, chew right through you. Boom, bam. Yes. Also, to my surprise, one of the things I wasn't sure was going to actually be able to survive is actually the Butcher. I wasn't sure if the Butcher was going to be able to make it just because of its weirdness, but I think it is. From what I've seen, it is absolutely fine. I just got to switch to it. Yeah, I thought it would like not have enough ammo regen, but no, from my knowledge, it does. It does. Again, you eventually do reach the end of your magazine, and you can either A, reload like a normal person, or maybe you want to be really ammo conscious. Sure, just wait, give it a minute, throw some grenades, let your grenades like regenerate back, and you're good to go. See, we have 4 shots in the magazine, 5 shots, 6 shots. Give it a minute, 8 shots, and it's doing the whole thing. Now we just crit for days and wreck this badass like so. So that's good. So again, there's always, you can either reload or just give it a minute. Or just even just do bursts. Like whenever you have to reload, just throw another grenade, and that will start giving you some more ammo regen. Good to go. Again, we still haven't lost our ammunition. We are running the patch and all those things. That's one of the reasons why our ammo is somewhat lacking in certain cases. Like, you know, it's not perfect. Also, for this boss, I'm actually going to utilize the hive the best I can. And again, I refuse to reload because I want to keep those missiles. And again, even here where I'm trying to like lose my missiles, why am I not regenerating rockets? That's weird. I should be regenerating something. Very strange. That's a first. Maybe it's just because I had 0 rockets at a point. Don't know. Regardless, we'll do some of that. Do some of that. Keep throwing grenades. I'm trying to get to the to no grenades, by the way, just so I can show you guys that it's pretty easy just to switch to another splash damage weapon and get those regenerated. Do not reload me. Refuse to reload. And this is also a fantastic way just to, you know, accelerate everything. Like all the damage just keeps firing hives. And he's gonna spawn again because he does that. He has duplicate variants of himself. Again, we're getting close to losing our grenades, and all we have to do is just hold off for a second when it comes to spamming those, but I'm trying to keep those rockets going. Oh, that's actually kind of strange.
I'm on a freaking roll.
Oh, is that what the hive does? Oh, that may be what the hive does. Okay. Yeah, we had like a lot of rockets, and now not so many rockets. So I guess the hive is like a Tediore. So when you shoot it, the missile comes out and then takes ammo from your reserve to fire those additional rockets. Huh. Weird. I didn't know that's how that worked. Regardless, again, it's pretty simple. We just I would still be able to do the same damage output. All that would change is me having to wait a few seconds before every single hive shot because it has to take time to regenerate. But that's it. So again, build super still good. I have heard some people on Twitter when they released the patch notes, and I was one of those people where I was like, come on, guys. Don't, because the way they made it sound, and they made it sound like they patched the infinite grenade kind of build. And I was like, oh, come on, man, that's the whole point of the build, is to just keep raining grenades and have this like elemental, beautiful storm. But alas, all they did was just make it so that you can't really get endless magazines, which is fine, honestly. I don't think that makes sense, and especially not with like, we were able to kind of tap into the power of how good grenades can be, as well as tap into the power of like endless, bottomless mags, so endless bullets. To where now it's like, okay, you either have to choose between grenades and gun damage and some regeneration still, or you have to go full-on regeneration of ammunition with maybe a little bit of grenades. But yeah, it's a lot less terrible than I've been hearing around, especially through the thing. And again, I had the same reaction, the reaction of like, come on guys, don't do that. Don't like nerf everything that's good, and especially when it's like everyone's talking about it in the community, like Moze's infinite grenade build. Because it shits on the people who have been like playing the shit out of your game these last couple weeks and grinding for that good year. So I definitely... Hi guys, me here in editing. I wanted to explain my point a little bit more about why I don't think they should be nerfing things. Essentially, the idea is that you have these group of players that are constantly grinding and enjoying your game, and they're trying to work towards this powerful build. So then they dedicate a lot of time to playing and loving the game that you've created, only to have this build, use it for what, a week, and then for you to have nerfed it into the ground. Not only just basically minusing all the time and love that they've been spending in playing your game, but also it decentivizes you to want to hunt for any legendaries or any builds that involve legendaries, because it could just get nerfed again. So it really damages, in my opinion, the player base when shit like this happens. Again, I think I would be one of those people that would massively suggest adding a new mayhem mode for that kind of thing, but not that. Not being like, hey, by the way, the whole build doesn't work the same way. Yep, all that gear you got, it's useless. Cool. Have fun. Yeah, it's kind of a kick in the teeth, but also they haven't been doing that, so thank God, thank you, Gearbox. Anyways, yeah. Let's go kill some things on Promethea. Again, I think you guys get the point of like, we still have an insane amount of survivability, because again, every time we deal damage with our grenades, that's getting back at health. So the only thing that was in question is, are we not going to be able to throw as many grenades? And are we going to instead have to really, really lean on a splash damage weapons to kind of give us that back? So it's less of a like grenades being the damage thing, and instead grenades being the healing thing. when that would still kind of be fine because we gain amped shields, so we'd be gaining damage if we even did that. But yeah, but no, it's not even that bad. Again, as long as there's, even when there was one enemy, one boss, we were still regenerating grenades at an enough pace. The only thing that they changed is that it's a little bit less, like, again, beforehand we were never able to get away from like 11 grenades at a time, like not even close. Like you'd be spamming grenades constantly and it would never tick down from 11 grenades. Whereas now you can drop down to 6. The only thing that's changed is you just got to give it a minute and you'll get back to 13. But yeah, everything's still super applicable and just a blast to do. Again, the ogre is a fantastic choice if you do happen to run out of grenades completely. Like, let's do that. Well, shit. Alright, well, I'm just kind of showing you guys damage here. I'm trying to, like, there we go. Everyone's no longer here. 0 grenades, baby. Come on. Boom. 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 Nothing. Not a single grenade. So all you'd have to do at this point is switch over to an explosive weapon. And again, I think there might be some boss fights that get really finicky and weird. But then we're just shooting, we're causing splash damage. We got 2 grenades, and those 2 grenades can get us 5 grenades, and those 5 grenades can get us endless grenades, and it can just keep building like that, like this crazy effing storm that is just beautiful and perfect, just spectacular. Do 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 do, do 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 do.
This is just a side thing. It's so loud with all the explosions that I just, in order to keep some train of thought, I have to hum to myself. Yeah, it's not like I think I'm great at singing or something stupid. It's just what happened. Yeah.
Oh, there is a flying man hanging about, and boom, 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 bang. And hey, what's the issue with reloading? Not with our build. We can reload all we want. So it's not a problem in the slightest. And melted. I don't know where you are, but I assume you got melted. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen, back up to 13 grenades. So the build is still incredibly viable. Again, I do understand everyone's perception on like, oh, I hate the fact that they're nerfing everything right now, and it's not that bad. At least not thus far. Again, Flak's getting shit on because Flak was also the boss killer, and I don't think that was something that they wanted necessarily, but I also think that should be the case. Is that if you get every legendary you want, if you get every class mod you want, if you have read every skill to understand exactly what they do and find things that massively amplify what they do, I think you should deserve to have that insane power. But that could just be me. Again, I really hope they don't continue to nerf Moze. I think this is it makes sense. Again, if you that way people have some sort of interest in choosing bottomless mag. Yeah. But for me, I really still like find Moze suffers from damage output, so the fact that I get my amp shield back so instantly with this is really, really good. One weapon I want to try with this, though, is definitely the Masher. I think the Masher might have some hella teeth when it comes to fighting and all that. I can't see anything. And boom. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the build still works spectacularly, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. Again, this is just a quick little update after the patch for people who are like freaking out and being like, oh, it's no longer viable. Now it's incredibly still viable. But the only thing is that it's a bit taken down a peg. You can't just endlessly fire like you could. You can still basically throw endless grenades. You can basically still use all of the heavy weapons like rocket launchers and stuff. You just have to wait a good little bit, which actually makes sense for damage output. But yeah, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.